Number 1. Martin Truex Jr. MTJ returned to his winning ways this weekend at Las Vegas and springboards himself to the top 10 of my power rankings. He did not dominate this race, but he was a competitor all night long and grabbed the lead when it mattered most and ran off into the beautiful Las Vegas sunset with the victory. Number 2. Kevin Harvick. Happy continued the momentum with a strong second place showing in Vegas. He has to be bummed he didn't take home the trophy, but the car looked great under the lights and he came up a bit short to the 2017 champ, MTJ. Number 3. Chase Elliott. Awesome Chase from the same place returned to late spring form with an impressive showing at Las Vegas. Chase Elliott had the race in his pocket until the second to last restart when the field got shuffled based on pit stops. He and the 9 team impressively overcame damage and finished in the top 5. This was a much improved run from what we saw in the summer months, and he's been rewarded as my biggest mover in the power rankings. Number 4. Joey Logano. Joey made a statement at Las Vegas. It's hard to call a 9th place run a statement, but with the context of the first 2 stages, he was the dominant car. The champ flexed his muscles today and even battled back from damage on the same restart Elliott and Kurt Busch received damage. A 9th place finish is a solid start for the defending champion. Number 5. Brad Keselowski. Bradley arguably had the most impressive run of the evening. BK struggled to stay inside the top 20 for the first 2 stages of the race, but like that 2 team always does, they found a way to dig and claw their way into the top 10. Then they found themselves in the top 3 and stayed there for the remainder of stage 3. It's tough to say that he was in the same class as the 19, 4, 9, and 22, but 3rd is a steal for the 2 team. Number 6. Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney jumped in on the Penske's success at Las Vegas and snagged himself a top 5. Blaney was only 1 point to the good, and now he has a 12-point cushion above the cut line. It's hard to say that it's a comfortable spot to be in, but it's nice to see him put a little gap between him and that playoff line. Number 7. Kyle Busch. Rowdy had one of the most impressive yet disappointing nights in the playoffs. Kyle hit the wall in the first 5 laps and found himself 2 laps down. Well, wouldn't you know it, Kyle Busch was in the top 5 by the final round of pit stops and looked like a driver possessed. Well, that quickly caught up to him as he quickly caught up to the back bumper of Garrett Smithley. The Las Vegas native was rewarded with a 19th place finish and a sour attitude for his great effort in Vegas. Number 8. Alex Bowman. It was nice to see the showman find the top 10 again. That's his first top 10 since a 10th place finish at MIS in August. Bowman and that team really needed that finish because a lot of us were starting to question his ability to perform in the playoffs. I believe he answered those doubts in Vegas. Number 9. Kyle Larson. Young Money had a very underwhelming finish in Vegas. Larson was top 3 at the end of stage 2, but once again, problems struck for Larson. Larson has potential to do really well in these playoffs, but he and his team need to clean up those key mistakes that take him out of races. 8th place feels like a loss for that team. Number 10. William Byron. Willie B sniffed the lead for a moment in Vegas, but was never able to complete the pass. Then he dropped like a rock and ended up causing a caution with a blown tire. He also has potential to go far, but Knaus needs to find a way to be able to keep Byron in one position throughout the night. Yeah, right. Chad worked his magic and was able to get Byron up to 7th. A really solid start to the postseason for the 24 team. Number 11. Denny Hamlin. Wait, Denny was in this race? He was such a non-factor that I realized he was competing tonight when they interviewed him during post-race. This team is too good for these types of finishes, and I really look forward to seeing how he responds at his home track in Richmond, Virginia. Number 12. Ryan Newman. What did I say? Do not let this man stick around. Newman will take advantage of a bad points day for one driver and use it to his advantage. It also helps that he was able to nab a top 10 finish. Newman is within striking distance and finds himself 6 points out. If this guy can find a way to earn stage points, watch out. Number 13. Kurt Busch. This one is going to sting if Kurt is unable to recover. Kurt was a solid top 7 car the entire day in Vegas. Then he and Chase Elliott found some contact in the wild restarts in the final stage, and his day was done before he could even get to pit road. The Outlaw doesn't need to panic just yet, but he does need a solid top 10 at Richmond. Number 14. Aric Almirola. Eric was in position to move up a lot in my power rankings, but then he fell off the grid. Eric led this race for a brief moment, and then he vanished. He does find himself above the cut line, but he is in position to get Newmaned. Number 15, Eric Jones. What an unfortunate time to have mechanical problems. Not all is lost for Jones. He just needs to find that swagger he once possessed all summer long, and he should be able to recover. But he is in panic mode. A 26-point deficit will be extremely difficult to recover from if he's not at his best. Number 16, Clint Bowyer. The pole sitter showed me exactly why I was concerned about him heading into the playoffs. It was a very difficult day and night for Clint, and it didn't help that he and Paul Menard about wrecked the back half of the field. He has a ways to go if he wants to find the success of his teammate, Kevin Harvick.